back to Vegan Live Fit. We're looking good, can save the earth. This is Corinne Sutton, and I'm here to talk about vegan bodybuilding. Now, me personally, I've been a bodybuilder for about 3 years, and I'm a pro in the NGA and also the AMBF. I've participated in IMBF, NPC, and other organizations that's out there. Now, to become a vegan bodybuilder is pretty simple, especially if you're going through a transition. You know, it's not hard. Only difference, or the hardest part, is just learning how to replace all the nutrients you were getting from an animal based lifestyle to a plant-based lifestyle. So that's pretty simple. And the biggest question usually is, how do you get the protein? Now, to get protein, basically you can find protein in a lot of different food sources like oatmeal, tofu, hemp seeds. You got beans, you got lentils, you got what else? I mean, there's tons of shit. Tempeh, you know, wheat gluten. There's tons of stuff that's out there that you can get a lot of protein from. Now, what I've noticed is that there's a big argument when it comes to the protein. Like, certain vegan proteins can't build enough muscle, so when it comes to a vegan bodybuilder, you know, you're not going to build the quality of muscle that you can achieve versus when you're consuming animals. Now, this is false, because the thing is that what limits most people is because they don't know about complete and incomplete proteins, you know, and that's the big thing. And here's the thing: if you find sources that has complete protein in it, you know, you're able to put on muscles faster. So, for example, like tofu is a complete protein. So if you consume tofu, you know, you're getting all the amino acids that you need to be able to put on good quality muscle. Or if you combine certain foods when you eat, let's say brown rice and beans, you know, when you combine those two together, you know, that makes a complete protein. You know, same thing with hummus and wheat. You know, any type of hummus and wheat, you put that together, that makes it a complete protein. So certain foods combined together, you know, will create a complete protein. And that's really the big myth behind that. That's why certain individuals, this is where not even certain individuals, but this is where this big misconception comes from. Because you have to remember, when it comes to the vegan lifestyle itself and the science behind it, it's pretty new. We're still learning about it, just because we were taught for so long that eating animals was the only source and best quality source of getting protein. So, and just now we're kind of putting the pieces together, saying like, hey, well, you can consume plants and be able to put on muscle. So I mean, that's the big thing, you know. And I'm not saying that vegan itself is new. Being like, the term vegan's been known for thousands of years, you know, and if not the actual word, but the practice has been learned thousands of years, you know. So it's not like we don't know. It's just that we were retaught and reprogrammed to consume animals as the best source, you know. And the thing is that's not true. You know, I always tell people that when it comes to protein in general, you know, it's about the quality of protein that you're actually putting inside your body, you know. So I always say you are what you eat. So if I'm eating shrimp, and shrimps are like, you know, they're like cockroaches pretty much. They're like they're like the ground feeders or bottom dwellers of the sea, you know. They filter the sea. They eat shit pretty much. So if you're consuming a bunch of shrimp, yeah, they're high in protein. Yeah, if you consume so many amount of them, you can get a lot of protein out of it. But let's look at the quality of it. You're getting shit protein, you know what I'm saying, versus something that's grown from the earth and it actually tastes good, and it's higher quality, you know what I'm saying. Like, why eat something that's consuming shit literally versus something that's just grown naturally from the earth, you know what I'm saying? So I mean, I always say look at the quality and just learn about how to consume the right proteins to be able to put on good quality muscle. And that's pretty much it. That's really the biggest thing when it comes to the bodybuilding world, is where do you get the protein to build the muscle, you know. And another thing too I like to add is that I never had an issue putting on muscle. Never had an issue putting on muscle. Being a vegan, and that's how I got my pro card. And obviously, if you know about bodybuilding, the only way you can become a pro is by beating everyone in the whole entire show as an amateur. And after that, it goes from there. Then you're doing pro shows and stuff like that, and I've done pretty well. As a pro too. So the thing is, it's not really hard. Nothing's hard about consuming plants and just getting the protein that you need or the nutrients that you need to perform. Because you also have to include carbohydrates and fat. Those other nutrients too also support and help you build quality muscle. It's not just protein all by itself. You also have to put into factors of carbohydrates and fat, because that's going to give you the energy that you need to get the aesthetics and also the energy, so you can be able to do what you need to do to put on the muscle. So it's a big combination of everything. And I always say, if you're vegan, at least you're getting good quality nutrients inside your body, and not shit nutrients, and not filtering nutrients through another animal. You know what I'm saying? So there you have it. I can't really think of anything else of when it comes to becoming a vegan bodybuilder, unless you don't know how to. Definitely, I know that I've met a couple of athletes that they wanted to go vegan, but they didn't go vegan because they don't know, because they want to play the sport of a bodybuilder, and they're like, oh, but you can't put on muscle. Well, half of the battle is that, number one, you're becoming vegan for the wrong reasons. That's number one. And number two is that if you really want to know, just find someone who's actually knowledgeable of it. How many times have you been through life when someone said no about something that you want? What did you do? You go out and look for someone else who can, right? So it's the same thing. Like, why settle with a trainer or a health coach who doesn't know and that's going to talk shit? A lot of people like to talk shit because they're uneducated and they don't know anything about a field that's outside their scope. So they rather lie to get your money than versus saying, you know what, I don't know about vegan nutrition, but let me find someone who does. That's more of a professional standpoint, and that's what people should be doing. But or them learning themselves, them diving deep and trying to learn themselves. But that's the thing. More coaches out there, they rather take your money and try to lie and cover it up, saying that you can't put on muscle. And if you ever find a trainer that tells you that, you should fire them. Seriously fire them and look for someone who's actually knowledgeable, who's actually living the lifestyle, like myself. I'm a health coach, I'm a master trainer, I have a degree in exercise science, and I'm walking proof that you can be an athlete on a plant-based diet. And if you don't believe me, there's tons of other athletes that's out there. Google it. All right, Google is like an encyclopedia. It's your library on your phone, a library on your tablet. You could Google it and you'll find tons of athletes that's doing the same thing. They're living the lifestyle. They're doing different sports. If it's not bodybuilding, it's tennis, it's golf, it's baseball, it's football. It just goes on. There's UFC. There's tons of athletes out there that's doing it. So with that said, be vegan, live life fit forever, and don't believe the hype. You can be vegan on a plant-based, you can be an athlete on a plant-based diet, and it's very possible to achieve. You'll have tons of energy, you can recover a lot faster, and all these myths and stuff that's out there that's bashing a vegan lifestyle, don't believe it. Just Google it, find an expert, and that's it. All right, you guys, peace out.